Hey guys, it's Eddie. I just want to shoot a quick video here. Something's came up a few days ago, and it's just kind of been aggravating me a little bit, and I just want to shoot a video and kind of go over it with you all. I got some letters in the mail. I got one sent regular mail. I got one sent certified. One that was delivered, I guess, by somebody that was stuck in my door. Alright. These are from an attorney. It was sent on behalf of from the company I used to work for. I want to kind of go over what it is and what he's claiming, and I just want to kind of clear the records up a little bit. I think it's kind of bogus. I think, I'm going to kind of go over it. I want to kind of start off when I first decided to go out on my own. Now, I have 20 years of heating and air experience. 2 or 3 years of that was installing, and the rest of it's been mostly the service side of it, and a lot of sales. I've done in the last 10-12 years or so, I've done a lot of sales. So I was probably considered more of a salesperson than I was a service technician. But over the years, you're always looking for opportunity to advance. When I was installing, I didn't want to really install for the rest of my life, so I decided to go into service. Alright, so when I got into service, I really didn't want to be a parts changer for the rest of my life, so I decided to, the company I work for, the next step would be into sales. Okay, so I've done 8 or 9 years in the sales department, and I've been pretty successful with it. But again, I kind of reached the ceiling there, and I just couldn't advance anymore. So I wanted to go off, and this time I just wanted to venture off on my own and do my own little thing. Alright, and that was one part of it. Now, the company that I work for, and if you all have been with me for a little bit, you know who I work for. When I started there, it was kind of a mom and pop shop. The owners were all family. At that time, most of the service guys were all still kind of all family. Then you had the installers, and there really wasn't any family in the installers side of it. Then as they kind of expanded, we got more service technicians in, and more people started working there. But it was always a good company, because you always had that family environment. It was always the mom and pop type thing. Now, there were some problems here and there. I mean, there's just like with any company, you're always going to have issues. There's always going to be something that you don't like, and I've experienced many of them. All right. Up until about 1.5 years ago, or they're about somewhere in that area, they grew really fast. So they went out and they bought a really big building, probably one of the biggest service buildings in Louisville. Maybe one other company, maybe 1 or 2 companies got a building as big. I don't know if they do or not, I don't know, but it's a really big building. And they started dumping a lot of money in advertising, and they just grew really fast. Alright. A lot of new office employees started getting hired in. So it became more micromanaged, and it just got more of a corporate feel. So the owners were kind of, getting out of the scene a little bit, and they're bringing in all these new people to kind of manage, and it definitely lost its mom and pop feel. Alright, so that was an issue with me. I just personally, I stayed in a bad attitude. Morale, I think, was a little low because of it. So it kept me in a bad attitude, and a lot of other people were just had bad attitudes. And just for me, it just didn't feel healthy, and I just wanted to get away from it. I've voiced my concerns several times prior. I've tried to work things out with everybody, but it got to the point where it felt like I was complaining so much that everybody thought I was the problem, and maybe I was, I don't know. Alright, so it was just time to go. I got I got pretty much missed out on that last day, and that was it for me. You know, it was something ridiculous, and you know, whatever. When I quit, I waited 1 week to see if I got any response from anybody. Now mind you, I've been there 20 years. Alright. Pretty much top salesperson for them. I did, you know, the best I've done, I think, was, there's a lot of money. I sold a lot of equipment there. Nothing. I waited 1 week, not a phone call, not a letter, nothing from anybody. So you've had the last year and a half thinking that, you know, things were going downhill and that you're just not important anymore. I mean, you used to be like really important. Now you're just a maggot on the freaking ground or something. That just verified it. I mean, I didn't get a letter. I didn't get a telephone call from the owner. Nothing. I mean, I just didn't get nothing. So after a week, I called the owner and just told him I'm going out on my own. You know, that phone conversation lasted about 2 minutes, and that was it. Alright, so when I quit, I didn't have a whole lot of money. I started off with about, you know, maybe $12,000, $13,000. So I had to really be careful what I spent my money on. Alright, advertising. I've never done any advertising. You know, I don't know anything about marketing. So I went and I built my own website. It took me 2 or 3 months, and I worked on it. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many hours I spent on that. Alright, and I finally got to where I'm happy with it. I've got signed up with some service providers that are providing me some service calls that I pay for. Alright, and I'm doing some home warranty calls. Again, service calls that are being provided to me. I have mailed out postcards. I have mailed out some Valpak ads, some coupons. And I have mailed out some brochures that I've made. I'm going to show you all the brochures. Now, I can tell you on the postcards I spent probably $3,000 or $4,000. Alright, I didn't get any phone calls off of. I got 2 phone calls. One of them turned into preventive maintenance. I got it for a year contract, and the second one, the lady wanted me to take her off a mailing list. Alright, so that was $3,000 worth of postcards. I advertised home. This is the logo I put on the. I don't know if y'all can see it. This is my logo. It was on the card, and my company name was on the card. I did 2 months of Valpak. I didn't get any response off of it. Alright. Obviously, after $4,000 or $5,000, you're not getting responses. You got to change things up a little bit. So I took my logo off my brochure, and I'm a Bryant dealer, so I put the Bryant manufacturer logo on my brochure. Alright, and I put my picture on it. Now, here in Louisville, I've been in commercials for 6 or 7 years. My face is pretty well known. You know, I'm going to use that to my advantage. You know, he continued to show my commercial with my face on it up until like a couple days before I got these letters, and automatically they came off TV, but they were being shown all the way up until I got these letters. Alright, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Alright, so what that did is that led into a lot of confusion. Now, out of the marketing strategies, that was by far the best thing I've done. We got a lot of phone calls. Now, a lot of them were a lot of confusion. Alright, people, they see my face, they see the Bryant logo and right next to it, and they think I'm Bryant. You know, my wife answers the phone. You know, it was always, thank you for calling Home Performance Solutions. We're your local Bryant dealer. How may I help you? I mean, she did say your local Bryant dealer, but we always started our phone calls when she answered it with Home Performance Solutions. When I called the people, I told them I was Home Performance Solutions. When I showed up at the house, got my logo. And right now I don't have my van logo. I'll show you what I've got in my van right now. Alright, so there's my van right now. Alright, and I've got whatever it takes Bryant on it right now. I'm trying to figure out my marketing strategy before I go spend $1,000 to do my van. Alright, so I'm not ready to logo my van right now. So what we're getting, there's a lot of people thinking that I'm Bryant Heating and Cooling because see my face, see it next to the logo. You know, I sent many calls over to Bryant. No, I'm not Bryant, we're Home Performance Solutions. There's a confusion with the brochures, and I explained all that to them. And most of them are cool with it. Some of them are jerks about it, but for the most part, most of them are cool with it. Sent them on over to Bryant, whatever. I got one lady that called me, and she wanted me to come out. She questioned on the phone when we told her it was Home Performance Solutions. She says, "You're not Bryant?" "No, we're Home Performance Solutions." She goes, "All right, well, you're $10 cheaper, so just come on out." So I went out there, again, with my logo on, with my van. When I called her, I told her I was Eddie with Home Performance Solutions. I was coming up to check her furnace. I don't know how much clearer I can make it. Alright, so when I get out there, I walk into her house, and she says, "You're on the ad. You're the guy from the ad." Now, honestly, at the time I thought she was talking about my brochure because I was on the brochure. Then as I started to finish up my check and clean, this was on a check and clean, I went to the thermostat to turn the heat back off so I could cycle it down and get it cleaned out. She wanted to know who to make the check out to. And I told her, you know, make it out to Home Performance Solutions, or you can just abbreviate it HPS, just whichever way you prefer. And she says, "Did you all change your name?" I was like, "No, ma'am, I just started my company this year, and it's always been Home Performance Solution." And she goes, "Well, what happened to Bryant?" "Well, ma'am, I don't work for Bryant. I'm Home Performance Solutions." "Are you in a different department for Bryant?" "No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm Home Performance Solutions. I'm not affiliated with Bryant at all." She goes, "Well, okay, well, never mind. You're cheaper than him anyway, so I'll just go ahead and pay you." I was like, "No, not Bryant. I'm going to show you all my work orders too." She signed my ticket and everything. It's nothing on there is Bryant. Just that one brochure is the only thing I've ever mailed out with Bryant on it. Later on, I get a call, and I hear that somebody was going back out to her house because she felt that I manipulated her. Now, when she called Bryant because she was still confused, they instructed her to stop payment on my check that she gave me. And I'm cool with that. You know, if she's confused, I'll give her money back. I don't care. Ain't that big a deal for me, really. Alright, so when I get home, I called her, and at that time the service technician had just finished up. Couldn't clean it. I cleaned it better than anybody else was going to clean it. I can guarantee you that. And I explained to her, like, you know, I can resend the brochure because she didn't have the brochure handy with her, so I can resend it out to you. But nowhere in there did I say I was Bryant Heating and Cooling. I had the logo that says Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. Alright. Now, to clear some of the confusion, here in Louisville, there is a service company called Bryant Heating and Cooling. It's the company I used to work for. Martin Bryant started that company back in the 40s. They're nowhere, in no way at all, they affiliated with Bryant Manufacturing. And I think that's what leads to a lot of the confusions. Now, when I talked to a certain customer on the phone, she was actually a little peeved that Bryant was still showing my face on the commercial. That's what confused her. She saw me, she saw it on the commercial just like a couple days prior to that, and I can see where it's going to be confusing. And I told her, "Listen, man, I'll just void out your check, and I just won't even charge you for it. I'm sorry for the confusion." And she's like, "Well, don't worry about it. I've already," at that time she had canceled it. She was like, I've already uncanceled it. Just go ahead and run it through. I did have a service agreement with the other company, and yada yada yada." I was like, "All right." And I told her I'll take her off my mailing list. And she even told me not to even worry about that. So we continue to get some phone calls, and people were just confused about it. Like I said, I'm going to show you the brochure here in just a second. So we went through, and I kind of redesigned it a little bit. I put my logo on it, and I put a picture of a furnace and air conditioning on it. I mean, I try to keep everything as least confusing as possible. I have been on the commercials for 7 or 8 years. I am known as Bryant. I would be a fool not to take advantage of it. I mean, I know certain companies in Louisville that took advantage of a certain manufacturer's name to his benefit. Why can't I? Alright, this is my face. I'm going to use it. Certain people used it for 6 or 7 years, and they used it even after I quit. I can use it. My personal property, I can use it. Alright, so that's what I did. This letter is informing me that I'm stealing customers from the company I used to work for. Now, this is the stuff that you've got to worry about when you start your company. You're always going to have the big man that doesn't want to see you succeed or whatever. He's always going to try to bring you down. He's going to use his money to... I know how it works, okay? I know what he'll go through to prove a point, whatever. Alright, but this is basically telling me to cease contacting Bryant's customers, and they want, copies of all my invoices I've had in contact with their... I'm not going to talk about a whole lot what's in this letter because, I'm probably going to get sued anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. I mean, I don't even care for real. Alright, but watch my next video. I'm going to teach you all, if you are starting off and you got your own company, I'm going to show you how I got a mailing list on this. It's completely legal. I wasn't going to advertise to anybody. I had a small handful that I was just trying, I really wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, I'm just going to mail out. I'll show you how I advertise. I wasn't targeting anybody in particular. I just mailed out some brochures. I really wasn't thinking at the time. I was just mailing out brochures. I was trying to get me some calls going. Alright, but, he's made an issue out of this. And he's trying to sue me now. And, I don't have money to fight back with lawyer fees. But I can make YouTube videos. Alright, and I'm going to show you all what I've done. This may or may not put me out of business. It won't keep me down. I mean, it may shut down Home Performance Solutions. It won't keep me down, though. If it even gets to that, I don't know what it get to or not. I don't know. I don't even care. I'm just starting off, so even if he does try to shut me down, he ain't shutting down much. Alright, I've got 12 check-in cleans in there that I've done that may be his customers. He can have them if he wants them. Ain't that big a deal, for real. I guess at this point I'm just aggravated because when you're new and you're starting off, you really don't need, lawyers coming to your house 2 months after you started. So I'm just going to, from here out, make some videos. Alright, I want to show you how I did my mailing list. I think if you're in business, it's a pretty slick idea. I mean, if you haven't used what is available to you on the internet, I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm going to teach you all how I did it. Alright. If you want to target one particular company, by all means, there's over 8,000 of them, please do. But I'm going to go here on the computer. I want to show you my brochures. I want to get your all's opinion on this, I guess. I want you all to see my brochures. See if you think I really need to be changing anything. I kind of like the brochures the way they are. I'm going to use Bryant Manufacturing to the best. I'm going to use it for what it's worth. I mean, I'm going to take full advantage of it. I was told that I can advertise it any way I wanted to, and there's couple of guidelines on how I present it to people, but I can advertise it any way I want to. If I want to put my picture on a piece of my advertisement, I'll put my picture on a piece of advertisement. I just want to kind of get your all's opinion on this. If I have to hire me a lawyer and take this to court, I mean, I guess I'll have to. But I guarantee you one thing: these videos won't stop. All right, I'll continue. I'll keep making videos and. All right, so let me go ahead and show you my brochures, and like I said, I'll end it with this one. Then I want to get started right afterwards and showing y'all how to get a mailing list together. All right, so hold on just for a sec. All right, guys. So this is the brochure that I've sent out. Like I said, I've got the Bryant logo here. This is a picture of me, and I just put whatever it takes. That is the little mantra that Bryant uses. Nobody wants to think about a heating system when it's still warm and sunny outside, but winter is never that far away, and servicing a heating system now will ensure that heat will click on when you need it to. Kind of keep it pretty simple. And I wrote in here, call Home Performance Solutions today. Then I had my web address, homeperformancehvac.com, and what I will be testing. Alright, you scan this and it takes you to my website. So that's what I first mailed out. Now I put my name on here, and like I said, I really wasn't advertising my name. I get tons of offers in the mail, and what I'm doing is no different than what a lot of companies out there are doing. You know, you advertise your brand, advertise your price and your service. There's a lot of stuff in it. You really got to dig in what the company name is. So this is, to me, is good. I don't see any problem with it. Alright, but like I said, it led to a lot of confusion because of this. But it says Bryant, which has got the red shield. They used a small B. Bryant, the company I used to work for, had the big B, and they had a polar bear. Theirs wasn't even inside a shield or anything. They just had a polar bear that they advertised. And it says systems. So there's the key thing difference. There's the red shield system with the trademark. Alright, then my picture is right next to it. So I can see where it would be a little misleading, but it is a manufacturer's name that was used by other companies to gain success. Alright, I'm just no different. Alright, so this is what I did different. Alright, so now I've put the Bryant air conditioner with the Bryant furnace. Alright, and I've got my logo, and I've got some qualifications here, and I've changed my email to, or my web address to red to try to make it pop out a little bit more. Alright, so this is what I've got right now, and like I said, and this was the before. Either one of them I'm happy with. This is definitely should cut back on some of the confusion. I think the people over at Bryant Heating and Cooling, I think they're still going to get that phone call because I've got Bryant here, my picture's on it, and everybody just knows my picture. I'm not going to be able to stop that. But this is the logo. I think this is the brochure I'm going to go with. Now, when I told you all that I've mailed out postcards, the Val Pack, all the other advertising that I've spent a lot of money doing. Well, it's a lot of money for me. I'm a small guy, so anything over a few $1,000s is a lot of money for me. All right, this one I've printed out, and it generated a lot of phone calls. But again, there's a lot of confusion, and you know, when we was getting all them phone calls, I could have easily talked them into for them allowing me to go ahead and do the service for them. Easily I could have done that. Alright. But I don't want to be recognized as Bryant Heating and Cooling as a service company here. I want to be recognized as Home Performance Solutions. I don't want Bryant Heating and Cooling, the service company here in Louisville, to get credit for the work that I'm about to do. I just don't want them getting credit. I'm doing a lot more service than what they do. I'm not talking about running service calls, but I provide a lot more services than what they do. and I don't want them getting any credit for it. So I'm really careful how I advertise my name. I didn't think putting that logo on there. I knew it was going to gain me some attention, but I didn't think it was going to blow up like it did. All right. This brochure, I can assure you that I'm not going to be sending them Bryant's way anymore. I'm telling you, I don't know how many calls I got. We got a lot of calls, and I sent probably 60% of them over to Bryant. Just, I didn't want the confusion. All right, I was trying to do the right thing. All right, so that's not going to happen. I'm going to capitalize on every phone ring that I get right now. I'm going to capitalize on it. So let me know what you think of the brochure. This is by far has worked better than any advertising that I've done so far. We're just mailing them out. Now, one of the little things in that lawyer's note was that one of the homeowners got a handwritten letter. Well, if they contact about probably 700 people that I've mailed out to, I guess, I don't even know, probably not 700, 500, I guess, 500 or 600 of them that I've mailed out, they're all handwritten. That's going to be our thing. We're going to handwrite just about all of them. We're trying to create a personal touch, and so they're all handwritten. All right, most of them are to the current residents or because we don't have the names for most of them. We just have the addresses. All right, so that's our little marketing strategy. If it's a secret, I don't know if I'd go that far, but this is what I'm mailing out. I would like to get your opinions on it. Should I keep with this one, or stay with what I've got now, what's out there now, or I like both of them. It don't really matter to me. That one worked really well. It made my phone ring. All right, so let me know what you think. And like I said, watch my next video. I'm getting ready to shoot it now, and I'm going to show you all how to create a mailing list. All right, thanks for watching.